I'm Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and joining me is Lindsay Edmonds, the head coach of Rice women's basketball. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? How's your summer been?
It's not been the best, but so my mom passed away in June.
Oh no,
so,
I'm sorry to hear that.
So thank you for that. So you're my first interview since
Okay.
her passing. So
Okay.
you and I have a connection. You were my first interview when I was on a guest host on KYLK. So
For sure. Yeah.
So okay.
Well,
Thank you very much
for having me again.
My pleasure. All right, summertime. It's August. I think the first recruiting month is done for coaches.
Mm-hmm.
How was it? How was it then? What did you guys? Where did y'all go staff wise?
Yeah, we were all over the place actually. We were, let's see, Des Moines, Iowa, Louisville, Kentucky, Dallas, Texas, Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Chicago, Orlando, Ladera, California, Lawrence, Kansas, and Richmond, Virginia. So we were kind of all over the place in a lot of random cities, but had to go where the recruits were at, and that's where we were. So it was a lot of fun. And we were, chasing after some great players, adding to our list, being able to sit on one of our committed 23s already. So being able to watch her and show support for her. But yeah, our list really grew this summer, which was great because it's always great to add to your list and add to your database of kids to be watching.
Now, as a head coach at Rice, all those cities you and the staff went to this summer, how did that equate and compare to when you were at the staff at NC State? Was it more, less?
No, I mean, honestly, pretty similar. A lot of the places we were at, I saw my old colleagues and boss from NC State. So, a lot of the same tournaments have kids from, all different levels. And there's a lot of programs that have really high academic kids that are also on the shoe circuits, the Nike circuits, the Adidas circuits, Under Armour circuits. So, I mean, we're at the same places. For me, I try to bounce a little bit more, just a day here, a day there, just to make sure I'm seen by more kids, where some of our assistants may sit for a couple of days before they change. So in that regards, it's changed maybe a little bit.
Now, are you looking at a specific position, trying to fill a need, or just go with the best player for student athlete?
For the 23 class, we would just probably take the best available of what we have left. And we have a very loaded roster, and we have a lot of those kids coming back. So there's not as much need to fill this last spot. And if we do, we do. If we don't, we just drop down to 14 on roster, which is not the worst case scenario. So we'll swing for the fence on a couple of kids and see how it shakes out. But just great people, great students, great players that really can add worth and value to our program, but also into our family atmosphere.
Now, you mentioned 14 on the roster. How many incoming freshmen will be on this year's squad?
So actually, this year's squad, we have 16 on roster,
wow.
Which is so different than last
Very much.
year. So we have 6 freshmen. And then we have everyone returning, and we have our one transfer that we picked up over the spring. So it was so awesome this summer just to have a whole sideline full of players. When they're warming up and they literally take the whole sideline and Solomon's doing their stretching, I'm like, man, this is awesome. So we even had a few that were sitting out for some nagging injuries, and we could still practice and we could still scrimmage, and it was like, this is so different. So that part was really awesome for the summer.
Yeah, because if you have 16 last year, I think you had sometimes 7, right?
Yeah, exactly. So my number 8, 9, and 10 were my assistant coaches last year. So yeah, we've changed that a little bit.
How has the announcement to joining the American effective July of next year, how has that had impact on recruiting, opening doors, different doors, things like that?
Yeah, I think it is something that we're definitely pushing in recruiting. I think recruits and their family love to hear it. They love to hear about the change to the American. They love to hear about, the bigger stage, bigger conference, more opportunities to play on TV, more chances to be able to get into the NCAA tournament. While we still want to try to compete for championships, we know that if we can set our schedule to be challenging, and we still can have a shot to get an at-large when you're in American. So I think it's something that's enticing. I don't know if we've really reaped the benefits of it yet, because no one's seeing it. It's just us talking about it. But I think it definitely helps. I think, again, recruits and their parents seem very excited about the change to American.
Have you been asked about the change to the American yet by recruits and their parents?
Yeah, they have. They've been asking, like, when are you going? When does it happen? Like, what will it change for the university? What will it change for the program? And we're able to talk about some of the resources that will be able to, be added into our program because of the change. And so that part's exciting. But I think once we're truly in it and they see it, not just us saying, yeah, January 1 of 2023, July 1 of 2023, I think it's a different story.
And I understand that Rice Athletics has a fundraising campaign. Just your overall thoughts about the campaign and what it hopes to accomplish.
Yeah, again, I think Rice is doing a great job of trying to just continue to raise money and be able to do for our student athletes and give them the best opportunities and afford them the best opportunities that we possibly can. It's much more than just our sport. It's a well-rounded experience at Rice, and so everything that we can do to make that experience better for them, Rice does the best to do that for them. So I think just anybody that wants to give donations, it definitely goes to a great cause, and it goes to these student athletes that work so hard, not only on their court or field, but also in the classroom as well.
Can you give a brief summary scouting report on your incoming freshman class?
Sure, yeah. They're eager. They're excited. There's a lot of them. We have as many as them this year as we almost had that were available for games last year. So that part's been really great. But I think they're really just jumping right into the culture. We did a team retreat and went away to Galveston for a weekend. We were all in the same house. I think if you were an outsider and you walked in, you wouldn't know who were the freshmen and who were the returners. That's how cohesive the group is becoming, and how open our returners were to the freshmen and all of that. So they're doing a great job. They're really competitive on the floor. Shelby brings an inside presence that can bang and compete in the post the way no one else on our team probably can. Kennedy Clifton can really shoot the basketball. Ashlyn Zhang is extremely competitive and gritty. She's recovering from an ACL last July, so she's getting clearance to be able to do a lot of contact, but her work ethic, the way she goes about everything she does, is just really top notch. Dominique Ennis, and I don't know if you were here when Dylan Ennis played for Rice or not, but it's Dylan's younger sister from Canada. She can really shoot the basketball, but also, do a lot of things off the bounce. Pretty good hands defensively, gets her hands on a lot of things. Haley Adams can play literally 1 through 4. She's our most versatile player. Rebounds, pushes it, sees the floor really well. I think some of that has to do with how she's played soccer her entire life, and she's had to see the whole field for soccer. It really helps her basketball-wise. And then Jazzy Owens is the most dynamic, the most explosive poppy player that we have. She can really get to her pull-up game quick and elevate over people. She's small in stature, but she plays much bigger than what she is. So really excited about what they can all bring to the table.
And I think since the last time we spoke, you made some changes to your coaching staff. Just touch on that.
Yeah. So we had some changes. Really happy for Michael, our former video coordinator. He got an assistant job at Utah Valley University. So he and his wife had been in Utah for a long time. So it was able to kind of get them back to what they would maybe call their home, and for him to be able to be an assistant. So we've hired Mia Gallo. She came from Southern Miss. She's finishing up her second master's from Southern Miss. Love her energy, love her work ethic. I think she's going to be a great fit for us. She's doing some stuff graphically for us, which is an awesome help as well, but really understands the video piece of it as well. And then Coach Tiffany decided to take a break from coaching basketball, so stepped away to be with her son and take care of him. So wish her nothing but the best, miss her for sure. But we were able to hire Danny Grant. She had spent, the last 8 years at Power 5, 7 years at Utah, and then this last year at USC. So the experience that she brings to the table, her recruiting ties, her ability to connect with recruits, but also coach on the floor has just been a tremendous asset to our program. And then Brooke Wilson, our director of basketball operations, stepped away to work into a family business and really hurt because Brooke was pretty much my rock when I got here. She let me know how everything operated, how to do things, where to do things, when to do things. So definitely was really heartbroken when she decided to step away, but understand how time consuming this job really is. And so it was taking away a lot from her family. So we have hired Daryl Lynn McDonough. She comes from Western Carolina as a Dobo, but she is our new Dobo. She did her undergrad at Baylor and worked with the team with Coach Mulkey. And also got a master's degree from there, and did some more work within that program. So she knows what a competitive and high level program looks like, how to operate that way. Honestly, she's like a mini Brooke to me, and I think she's going to be a rock star in the business. So really excited about her. Love everything that she's done, and I just really think the staff is awesome this year.
So you now have 2 Grants on your staff.
Yeah.
What's that like, the chemistry with them on the staff?
You know what? I'm really happy for them to get their family together. They got married, never lived together because they were both pursuing their passions of coaching. They had baby Austin, still weren't living together. And I know that played a toll on both of them. So I'm really happy for them. But I'm really happy for our program. We got a great coach out of it. She is someone, again, like that. She just brings so much experience, and she makes us better instantly. So honestly, if you didn't know that their last names were Grant, because they go by Coach Danny and Coach Nick, you really wouldn't even know that they are husband and wife. Obviously, they operate at a very high level, and they are very professional when they're at work. They have differing opinions, which I like. They bring different things to the table. And I'm super excited. Nick, Kiwi, and Danny are going to be tremendous for me and for our program this year. So yeah, it's been just like having 3 assistants. I don't think of them as husband and wife when they're at work.
How close are you to announcing the non-conference schedule?
Yeah, we're really close. Obviously things with Conference USA, with the teams that were leaving, what was that going to do to our conference schedule, which would return affect our non-conference schedule. So there's been a lot of waiting on that piece, but we're really close on being able to announce it. Hopefully next week. We're waiting on one more piece of paperwork to get back in, and then we should be able to announce it after that.
Okay, that's all I need, Coach. And once that's announced, I'd like to talk to you again about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm really excited about the non-conference schedule. We've ramped it up quite a bit. So we're really excited about some of our opponents on the road and at home. And I think it's going to be really challenging, but really fun and really competitive. So definitely would love to talk about it more when we have that the ability to release it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rice Owls head coach, women's basketball, Lindsay Edmonds. Thank you as always, Coach. You take care.
Thank you. You too.